This Civic Media podcast is sponsored by UW Organ and Tissue Donation. Organ donations are desperately needed, and now is the right time to become an organ donor. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. Go to heroicdeed.com.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore. Feels like the walls are all closing in.
What's up, Wisconsin? This is Raised in Wisco. I'm Joel Clayfish. That across from over there, across the table, is Danielle Fairman.
Hello.
Sitting next to guest host Jack Klobucar, who brought in his friend Madeline today. Hey, folks, this radio show is your one-stop shop for the great outdoors of the great state of Wisconsin. And never, never, never does it get any better than it is right now in the heat, in the heart of the Wisconsin gun deer season. Turkey's open. Deer is open.
Yep.
Ducks are open. Geese are open.
Squirrel
Coyotes
is open.
Squirrel is open. Crow is, I don't know if crow's open. Rabbit's open.
Pheasant.
Well, I say squirrel because that is pretty much the only thing I saw for our fantastic 9-day gun deer season.
And you know what? It's not over yet, Danielle.
It is not over yet. There is still time, but
There's
oh,
still
my
time.
Lanta.
This is what, okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited right now. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep per night for the last 10 days. I can't even tell you what that's like. You get to be in this, you know, I haven't drank for like 14 years, but I have this like drunken feeling about me. Do you ever get that when you get so tired that you have like
deprivation?
Yeah.
Producer Jess?
What you're experiencing
Welcome to the
right
show.
there, yeah, that's extreme
Sleep
sleep deprivation. My
I
friend.
think when they find out things from spies that they, you know, when the military gets spies from other countries and they get them, they wear them down with sleep deprivation. I understand why. I'm hope that
you
nobody
would talk to anyone about anything right now.
I know. Can you tell that about me right now? Can you tell
I can.
that I'm on the edge right now? I'm on the edge of glory.
See, when you were talking about how sometimes you just start singing
Randomly.
were you conscious of that?
Beautiful
the
voice.
little Lady Gaga business I just did?
Lady Gaga business?
That is Lady Gaga, right? Edge
I
of
have
Glory.
no idea. I find it funny
I'm
how
on the edge of glory.
Isn't it Lovin' You?
I don't have any idea what it is. I
It
think
is
it's
Lady Gaga.
though.
It is.
And I'm
Confirmed.
sitting on a blah, blah, blah.
See,
something, I don't
my
know.
mind goes, don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I just, right now, I've got this malaised, easy rider feeling. I'm glowing. I'm kind of vibrating in a different dimension a little bit. I kind of feel like I've got colors coming off of me. You know what I mean? And I mean, look, I've never done a drug in my life, but I got to imagine it feels a little bit like this.
What's the saying? You taste colors and what is it? You taste colors and see light, or you taste light and see colors?
I don't have
What is
any
it?
idea what you're talking about. Madeline, our guest Madeline, do you know what she's talking about right now?
Taste, colors, and smell sounds.
Yeah, taste
And
color and
smell.
smell
There we go.
sounds.
That sounds like a bad acid trip, to be honest, or to how someone
sleep
would describe, or sleep deprivation.
Or sleep, yeah.
The bottom line is we had such an incredible week with the Foul Life folks in town. We filmed 2 entire episodes of the Travel Wisconsin shows that are going to air nationally. I mean, it's the largest national waterfowl television show in the country, and it airs on the Outdoor Channel. And getting to be a part of that is extremely exciting for me, as you know. I mean, I love very few things more than hunting and television. I love doing television. I love doing radio. I don't know if you could tell that or not, but I get a little
Weird.
jacked up about it. And they were here this past week, and it was run and gun nonstop. So to try to break it, I want to do our weekly Wiscos here, but to try to break it down for me would be virtually impossible because we had Tuffy Stone in town staying at camp with us. And when I say duck camp, I mean my house. Producer Jess, they stayed at my house. All these people, 10 people. Tuffy Stone.
Full house.
It was something else. It really was. Like no sleep, No rest for the wicked. I don't know why they say that, but no rest for the weary is also a saying.
Yep.
It was weary and no rest. We had 6-time World Barbecue Pitmaster champion Tuffy Stone stayed with us,
and he
cooked like crazy.
He was an incredible person when I met him.
Yeah, isn't he great? What a sweetheart!
I don't want to say anything bad about anybody else, but Tuffy was definitely my favorite.
Oh, that's okay. You can say that. I mean,
Tuffy was such a good dude.
And I have had people reaching out about last week's show, saying how fantastic it was and how cool the guys were on it. I mean, we had Cody Stamen, UFC fighter, which is fascinating to me. Featherweight fighter. We had Denny Reed
from Camo
Space with us. We interviewed, but something that happened after last week's show, in between the 2 weeks, we had the author of the book Monster, the true life of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, there's a book about that?
Oh yeah.
I need to buy this book.
I have to tell you, just listening to some of the methodical ways he progressed through his, plans for evil.
What?
Is just
I need to read that.
Bone chilling. I mean, it is absolutely
So this book is out now?
Yes.
I can go on Amazon or something?
Yes. No, you can get it, and the author's local. In fact, I'm going to tell you, if you get one of the books, I will have Annie Schwartz sign it for you.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
We did a podcast with Annie Schwartz. We had the Lieutenant Governor of the state, Sarah Rodriguez, come by.
Aww.
And she did a podcast. She shot archery in our backyard. And one of the coolest things for me, we were doing the podcast with her. And you know what I said? One of the coolest things is in my home, there were 2 lieutenant governors at the same time in my house. Like, not many people can say that.
I think anybody can say that.
One is my wife and one is the other one who's here, right?
Yep.
So that was kind of cool. I mean, and one Democrat lieutenant governor, one Republican lieutenant governor, and both female lieutenant governors.
Go girls. Girl
that
power.
was great.
Was that her
awesome.
first time shooting a bow?
No, she actually is an archery instructor.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
so
neat.
it was really cool. She had a lot of insight about Wisconsin and how fantastic the state is. And she did talk to us about coming on Raised in Wisco at some point. So I think that'll be pretty cool. And then they left. And you know that I don't know if you know this about me. I like to hunt whenever I can.
Do you?
No.
Weird.
Don't team up on me, you guys. Don't team up on me. I'm in a fragile state. Okay.
Sleep deprivation. Forgot.
Yes. Jack, why are you so quiet today?
Just waiting for the right opportunity to pounce.
All right.
Yeah.
So they left and I went turkey hunting. So this is one of the greatest things about this week in Wisconsin. You can take a shotgun with you and you can take a rifle and sit in a blind or a stand. And if a turkey comes by, you can shoot it. And if a deer comes out, you can shoot it. That's so cool to me.
It is fantastic.
I mean, that's just so fun because it's like multi-species hunting.
It is.
Mixed bag.
And I always I love to put out turkey decoys even when I'm deer hunting because they seem to make deer feel comfortable when they come to the field. And when that happens, when the deer come out, I feel like it's almost kind of like they feel a little more comfortable and they'll come out. So I think you have a better chance at both species.
I never thought about that, but when I go turkey hunting, the deer most likely do come up and take a sniff or two at the decoys. So, I mean, that makes sense.
3 years ago, I shot my biggest buck ever 2 minutes after a group of like 40 turkeys walked past me, and I heard all this commotion. And I got ready, and I'm like, oh.
So I would think it's a coyote or
and
something.
I was like, it's turkeys. And I was so disappointed.
Turkeys.
And I was like, and then literally 30, 40 seconds after they had passed through, this beautiful deer walks by. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I think you're absolutely right. I think they just get more calm when they see other wildlife. Comfortable.
Yeah. I think it's cool. It's really cool. And we're going to break some of these things down during the show. It's going to be fantastic because we're also going to talk about my mom, who is in the studio like 9 out of 10 times. She chills with like in the lobby of the studio. You've heard me talk about it before. So Grandma Mary came over and made handmade gnocchi.
Oh,
gnocchis for like the crew with her homemade like age-old recipe sauce from the old country.
Amazing
in Italy.
Sauce.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the Jack and Madeline were there. Were you there, Danielle?
I was not there.
It's all gets blurry to me, to be honest. There were 10 people in and out. Some days people were here, some days they weren't. You did radio with us on Tuesday, or Saturday, obviously. So then it culminated in us all going to the Green Bay Packer game, which was such an incredible win against the 49ers. Jess, are you a Packer fan? Are you a football fan?
I am a moderate fan,
You're a moderate. Would you consider yourself like a bandwagon fan or a warm weather fan?
Hold on. What team?
Packers.
Okay, I just had to get past that first.
All right, look, we've got all that established.
Yep.
But I got to do a sit-down interview with Leroy Butler.
Oh man, I saw the social media post about it.
Yes. So Leroy Butler, just to give you just a little hint, is a really unique individual because Leroy Butler spent his entire NFL career with the Packers. I don't know if you know that. Not only did he do that, but he was part of the Packers Super Bowl winning season in 1996 with Brett Favre. So he's got a Super Bowl ring, and he is an NFL Hall of Famer. He was in the Hall of Fame. But even beyond that, Leroy Butler is the inventor of the Lambeau Leap.
No, is he?
He invented it. He did it the first time. And I'll tell you what's really funny is he was talking about the coach at the time. And he said, yeah, when Holmgren said, if I want you guys to get out there, kind of turn the momentum of this game. And if anybody scores, just feel free to really celebrate it. And Leroy scored a touchdown. And he's like, what could I'm so jacked. And he goes, I'm just going to jump into the stands. Well, I don't know if he underestimated how high you have to jump to get into the stands or what he did. Because I remember the first Lambeau Leap, he kind of like walloped against the wall.
Did he?
And the fans drag him into their arms. And it
that was
just
like a really high
made
jump, though.
Such an incredible moment. And so Leroy Butler ended up jumping into the stands. What I'm going to tell you about this interview with him and Leroy personally, he called me the night before. On my cell phone, they exchanged numbers. The Packers set it up. He called me and he talked to me for like an hour and a half on the phone.
Really?
Leroy Butler.
So I just looked it up. It is 6'5".
Yeah. So the
That's
wall
a big
is
vertical.
6'5".
Yeah.
So you're not leaping it, like a little pommel horse. You're going. That's a jump. So Leroy Butler calls me, and we're sitting together on the phone, and it's like. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, hey, I'm on the phone with Leroy Butler. Okay, do you mind? And then I'm going to tell you what he said and how that interview went. You got to hear that. And everything else, including a ton of cooking stuff. Tuffy Stone, world champion pitmaster. Raised in Wisco's awesome. We're glad you're with us.
So when you're not here with me, I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see? I lose control when you're not here with me. Yeah, you're breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
I said I would die for you, baby, but I can't take this pain no more. I thought I was willing, but tonight I saved my life when I showed you the door. I don't want to lose you, baby, but I can't play this game no more. I thought it would kill me, but tonight I saved my life when I showed you the door. You never thought this day would ever come.
Welcome back to Raised in Wisco. I am taking over.
Are we supposed to talk now?
Because Joel is dancing right now.
I'm a dancing fool.
So
you know what? The holidays make me want to dance. I
No,
grew
it's the Teddy
up-
Swims. It's his voice.
I think it is. It's very buttery.
It's
Have you
you
noticed
say
that?
buttery, I say velvet. It's
butter-
just
velvety,
so perfect.
buttery. It's a jam too,
It is a
man. He is
jam.
like broken jam.
That brings me to everybody listening. We appreciate you listening. Give us a like on Facebook. Raised in Wisco on Facebook. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple. Go to YouTube. Watch Joel dancing all all over again, stop and rewind and watch it again.
That is one thing I want to talk. You get the show on the radio, and it's a radio show, and that's great, and that's what should be happening when you're in the car. But if you want to check out Raised in Wisco, oh, and by the way, civic media stations throughout the state, 13 of them to be precise, Saturdays, listen to Raised in Wisco. But if you ever want to see what happens to Danielle and my faces while we're talking, check us out on Facebook and YouTube, because the shows are recorded in video form too. And I'm going to tell you something. I laugh when I watch, so it's got to be funny to somebody.
Oh yeah, you actually have to have a face for radio these days. It's not fair.
Not like the old joke.
We have a face?
Not like the old joke. Wow, you got a face for radio, bro. Yeah.
Now
no.
you need
Now
one.
you need a
a
face
face.
for radio.
That's annoying.
And ours are hey man, on this show our faces are plastered with smiles all the time.
That's true.
Always.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about Leroy Butler. I had a chance to sit down with him and talk to the guy. And the night before the Packer game, so I got he got my number from the Green Bay Packers. I worked this out to sit down with him and talk with Leroy Butler. And, you know, we've got, in Wisconsin, the Green Bay Packers are a religion. Really,
They are.
Nothing less
Absolutely.
than that. And to be able to be a part of the inside of that, to kind of get behind the curtain there is really an incredible privilege.
Yeah,
And
not everybody gets that
it
experience.
was unbelievable. So she's the woman I worked with, Katie Herman. She was fantastic with the Packers. She says, well, I'm going to give Leroy your number and then have him just call you and you guys can figure out how you're going to get together and do the interview. And so Leroy Butler calls me the night before and we just start shooting the baloney on the phone.
Aww.
And it's like, I felt this guy is a class act. Played for the Packers, the only team he ever played for, 14, 16 years. Hall of Famer, invented the Lambeau Leap, was there, got a Super Bowl ring, played
Wow.
with the whole Packers
is
of the time,
Packers.
Donald Driver, Brett Favre, Mark Chmura, Gilbert Brown, Dorsey Levens. I mean, all the big names, the big stars of the Packers. So I'm like on the phone with him and he's like, well, listen, man, I gotta make sure you got a place to park. We met him at the Stadium View Bar. He set up our parking spots for us. He's like, oh, I got parking spots reserved for you right by me. And it turns out we pull up right behind him at the same time on
nice.
game day. And he's like, oh, Joel, come on, man. Comes up, gives me a hug. I mean, just like one of the kindest souls you would ever meet.
See, from our last week's episode, we were talking about how Wisconsinites were huggers.
Right.
So that just proves the point. You can be
Yes.
Leroy Butler and he still wants to give you a hug.
Yeah, and so Jennifer Swenson, who's the executive director of the Foul Life, they were in town all week. We shot videos for Travel Wisconsin, and we did, all this stuff, cooking segments with pit masters, had UFC fighters along, went to the Green Bay Packer game, interviewed the lieutenant governor. We did all that stuff. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, how does it get better than any of that? And all of a sudden I'm at the Packer game and like Leroy Butler's got his arm around me and we're just chilling like
How
bros.
tall is Leroy Butler?
About my size, I'd say. I bet he's about 5'10", 5'11". And just honestly, one of the most genuine and kind people I have ever met.
That's awesome.
Spending the time, so I sit down with him when we're talking about, did you ever think for a minute the legacy of the Lambeau Leap would be such a thing? I mean, other teams even try to copy it. He had no idea. He had no idea, and he was just so genuine. There is not one speck of I'm a celebrity and I think I'm cool because of that about him. Zero.
So in the interview, do you talk about how, like, when he realized it was going to be a legacy? Like, when was the second time he did it? Like, when did it become a thing?
Well, when he did it the first time, he had no idea what that would spark for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. And then when he did it again,
so like the
people
next
reacted.
game,
So it was kind of like, I don't think, I'm just conjecturing now because he didn't answer that question specifically. But, it was kind of like a slow ramping up. I don't think when you're building something that's going to be fantastic through every step that is going to be as fantastic as it is, And so, we're walking through the crowd with him and everybody's jumping out just to touch him, to say hi, to shake his hand, and he stopped every time someone said Leroy. He stopped, shook their hand, gave him a little, hug. What the executive director of the Foul Life, Jen Swenson, her son's a massive Packer fan. So when I was talking to him an hour and a half ahead of time, I'm like, I'm so excited. Jennifer Swenson's coming. Her son's a huge fan of yours, of the Green Bay Packers. He's like, well, let's make sure to FaceTime him when we're together. So he shows up the next day and he goes back in the car and he's like, Jennifer, I brought this jersey for your son. He brought a jersey for his son, her son. He thought of it like enough. You know what kind of foresight it takes to think of bringing something to somebody like that? And I'm going to bring it to you, and I'm going to share this with you. And he brought a Sharpie along so he could sign it. Leroy Butler, Hall of Fame, number 22. And Jen was in tears. Like in tears.
I would be too.
Well, I mean, this dude was like, he was so cool and real. I could fully see broing out with him. I'm not even joking. It was the coolest thing ever.
I believe it.
It was just fantastic. And the Packers won, of course. And I have to tell you, being in that stadium, it was like
that was a tight game,
38 degrees with a stiff wind. That is
frozen
for real.
tundra.
It is absolutely for real. Like your face is not blushing. It is windburn when you're sitting up there. And you have to be bundled up for it to happen. And then, and that was one little aspect of this last week. What's your weekly Wisco, Danielle?
My weekly Wisco is getting revved up by squirrels. That's it. I have nothing. I was in the blind all
You
since
put
Saturday.
a lot of time into gun deer hunting, didn't you, this week?
Nonstop. Go.
And you and Josh kind of, see, that's...
His son, blah, blah, blah. His son, Luke, the youngest one that's been on the show a couple times.
Yes.
He shot 2 deer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that little
He got
bugger.
a buck and a doe.
Yeah, he got a buck and a doe.
Nice. A decent buck? Or?
It was a 5-point buck.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Well, that'll be great in the crock pot, right?
Yeah, it's going to be delicious. He was and he learned a new way to skin the deer, and he was so ecstatic to do it.
What's the new way to skin the deer?
Am I allowed to go into detail with this?
Well, I mean,
so
why'd you look at producer Jess when you asked that? I mean, are you going to break any FCC violations or what?
Yes. So you would just, it's with the golf ball. So you just, you put the cut around the neck to get the neck,
before.
and then you use an air compressor and just blow a couple holes in there.
Yep.
And then you get the golf ball and you put a chain around the golf ball, and then you back up with like a skiddy or something.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to know how that's done, you can look that up on YouTube. I'm really excited because we're going to talk about Tuffy Stone, the international
are we done with this segment
champion.
Already? How does that happen?
And we're going to talk about Grandma Mary's gnocchi because Jack Klobucar and Madeline were there for that, and that's going to be fantastic because at the end of the day,
it's always
Raised in Wisco's a cooking show.
I don't wanna lose you, baby, but I can't take this game no more. I thought it would kill me, but tonight I saved my life when I showed you the door.
You're an organ donor, right? Well, here's a tragic fact. Approximately 20 people die each day waiting for precious donated organs. You could make a life-saving decision simply by getting that important dot on your driver's license. That little dot shows those who need to know that you've made a decision to donate organs at a critical time. Go to heroicdeed.com to learn more about the importance of organ donation and how you can make your wishes known. Talk to your family. Get the dot. Save lives. heroicdeed.com.
Drunken raves came storming in. 5 a.m. you woke me up again. Cause the double's on ice and your friend Diane got you all up in your head again. About a picture on my phone from a girl I used to know.
We're back. This is Raised in Wisco. What a week we've had.
Everybody else was jamming too. It's
Good,
all right.
man. I was jamming. I'm tell you what.
We're
I'm
a
so
dancing
tired,
show at
but
the
I'm
end.
in this amazing malaise right now. We love having you with us on Raised in Wisco. You can hear us all throughout Wisconsin on your civic media stations on Saturdays. And you can check us out on the podcasts, right, Danielle? They turned it into a podcast. She's in charge of knowing where those are. And they are
I'm kind of in charge of making those. So, yeah.
She is in charge.
Find those at civicmedia.us/shows. Look for Raised in Wisco, and you can find every single show that we've recorded So that is over a year of shows of Raised in Wisco that you can look back on. You can also find those at Spotify and Apple Podcasts by searching for Raised in Wisco.
Do you know who does that?
Who?
My mom.
Oh, that's awesome. But I just want to give a shout out to producer Jess because I wish she could just organize my life.
Right?
I mean, the way she handles
she
this
could
show
write
and
me
gets
a
everything
script,
done.
too, that'd be
if
great.
she could just... For what?
Just, it's when I don't want to use my brain.
Like a script for your life?
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
not
that'd
for
be
my life.
interesting,
For
like
like
the
what
Truman
I need to,
Show?
like the conversations I need to have and like write it for me. The tough conversations. Just like this is what she needs.
ChatGPT.
You know,
Just like an old person.
Yeah, because Jess needs more work.
Because there's
put some more
conversations
work
I don't
on
want to have.
Jess's
Thank you,
shoulders.
Joel. Thank you, Joel.
I understand, Jess. I respect the work you do, and I appreciate
thank
it.
you.
And I'm going to tell you, if you want to laugh, if you want to learn, if you want to learn about the great outdoors of the state of Wisconsin, if you want some education and fun and food and frivolity, take a listen to those podcasts because you're going to hear
Yes.
Danielle and me and we always have unbelievable guests
It's always a
on the
fun
show.
week.
It's incredible. It's always a fun time and you're going to learn something. And what we hope is that you're going to say to yourself, you know what? Not before, but I'm going to get a reason to get to the outdoors. In fact, I'm inspired. I'll be honest, I'm inspired because producer Jess, who has never hunted in her life, bought a turkey tag, a Wisconsin turkey tag. We're going to go, all the three of us together, and go hunt a turkey. Now, Jess does not know if she'll be pulling the trigger. We may not have that option. Turkey hunting's hard, right? But we're going to get her in the blind and experience it. And are you excited about that?
I am really excited about that.
Me too.
Good.
Me too. I can't tell you. One of the things that our show is hoping to ring true in your mind as listeners is that you can do it. It is within reach, and you can do of it what you like. The best thing to me, one of the best things in the world to me, is watching the woods wake up.
Absolutely.
Listening to the
Therapy within
sounds
itself.
and the sights and seeing.
Can we
I've
watch it
seen
go to
horned
sleep,
owls.
Yes, we can watch
Can
it go
you
to
what?
sleep too.
Yes.
We're
Go
out
to
there.
sleep
Watching it
instead.
go to
Dusk to
sleep.
dawn.
Watching it go to sleep
That's
is
my
just
favorite
as
part of
good.
the day.
All right, well, that's when we're going to do it. Then we'll do it in the afternoon, and you know, you never know what you're going to see. You never know how the day is going to develop. I've had hawks and owls fly in and take out my decoys before, thinking they were real. I've seen deer up close. You know, it was outside of the deer season, and I had a giant 10-point buck 20 feet in front of me. People say, "Oh, you wish you could kill it," and at that point, you're like, "No, I'm just glad I can see it." You know.
I do love when I see deer when I'm out on my walks.
Right.
Right at that moment of dusk, and they're all moving about and then running, and every once in a while I turn from the path and there's just one looking at me.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. There's something actually magical to me about Mother Nature in front of you, not knowing you're there. Because then you can kind of analyze it and look at and watch how they act. And there are very few things really as majestic as the white-tailed deer. And when there's a doe with her fawns or a buck in front of you, and you get to look at and you can see into the eyes of these animals, what happens is that I think you almost feel kind of a connection with the understanding of what they're going through on a daily basis. You know, they have to get water, they have to sleep, they have to get food, just like we do. And speaking of food,
There it is.
I can't get past, why do I love food so much?
I love that you guys are getting all happy with the deer talk, but only thing I can think about is mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh, because yes. Well, we just had Thanksgiving and it was awesome. But I want to talk about the food that we've had this last week. Jack Klobucar is here.
So jealous.
And his friend Madeline has joined us right now. First off, though, Jack, you had a successful Wisconsin deer season already, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about your bow hunt. What did you get? How did it go? Break it down.
I mean, Wisconsin was
Break it down for me, fellas, like, a rap song from the 80s.
Yeah, Wisconsin was definitely more challenging for me this year. I saw a lot of does early on. I mean, I hunted 61 days this year, including Illinois, Wisconsin. So spent a lot of time deer hunting, and I just didn't see a good buck until November. All my cameras were out. I started to see him towards the end of October, just like you normally expect, but it was at like midnight, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
When did the tide turn?
It was like October 23rd. I think they really started to move a little bit. We had a little bit of a cold front in the mid of October. And I wasn't really expecting. I actually have a buddy of mine who's living with me right now. His name's Christian. He's never hunted before. He's from the middle of the city in Pittsburgh, and he actually got his hunting license this year.
That's awesome.
So I was.
Did he get that on his own, or were you talking to him about it and getting him interested?
I think he saw, because he started living with me in end of July, and he saw me shooting my bow all the time. He was like, I could get into that. And I was like, okay, let's go find a bow, and we found a bow. And I kid you not, this kid spent 10 hours a week shooting his bow. He just became obsessed with it.
I hunted with you and Christian in Texas.
Exactly.
Yeah, great guy, great kid.
Really focused, and you could see the focus and determination of a first-time hunter. And he actually got his first buck the night after I shot my buck.
That's awesome.
And it was just awesome to see that experience for him, because he had actually missed one a few days before, and he was really disappointed. And I was like, dude, if I could tell you how many times I've missed deer, or I was sleeping and I woke up and there was a deer in front of me.
Oh yeah, those naps in the woods, man! I tell you,
I know why
they get you every time.
But why does it kill you? Because you're so excited to be out there, and then all of a sudden you have this kind of feeling of serenity,
relax,
that falls over you, and there have been times. I mean, I tie myself in when I'm in a tree stand, and I do it
every single time.
I know there's a time I might not off and fall right out of that.
It's the nature's lullaby. When you're waking up, it's nature's lullaby.
Danielle, that's so poetic. We should write a song about that.
Oh my gosh.
You could sing it.
We could do a video. Like
another music video?
Yes.
If
after the last one's success?
If anybody listening wants to have a very good laugh starring Danielle and me, there is a video. I wrote a song ages ago, and
it's resurfaced recently.
It is. No, there's some
linked in the podcast.
Oh yeah.
There's some. Oh, don't do that.
Do it.
It's gonna go viral.
Oh, please do that.
Really, don't link it in the.
How many YouTube videos do you have right now?
It's very low. I'm
the
sure.
best part is when Joel's singing and his hands are still in his pocket. That's the funniest part of the video.
It's very funny. If you want to laugh your rear end off, can I say the ASS word on the radio or not, Jess? Wait, if you want to laugh your ass off, watch this video. It's called Hunter's Creed, and it was for a little while. It was the opening to my show, Kill It, Clean It, Cook It. And there was actually for a while a radio station out of Arkansas that was the start of their radio show, was this song.
Joel was getting royalties.
2,500.
That's not a lot. That's nothing.
As if she was going to say million.
If you
add some zeros
I just
to the end of
challenge
that.
you, if you want to have a good laugh.
Whoa!
Danielle's in it. Danielle's in
right
the video
there.
a lot.
Right there.
I'm right at the beginning.
Peter Kafkas, our editor for the show. So there's a line in the song. There's a line in the song that says, "God guns my girls in glory." Right? I mean, it is fully cheese. Like Wisconsin is cheese. Stop. Producer Jess is falling over herself laughing.
2,507
Every
views.
time I
wrote
watch
the
this,
line,
I'm just looking forward
God
to it
girls
again.
my guns in glory, and Peter Kafkas put in a bunch of video of Danielle when I said my girls. It was supposed to be
actually.
my dog.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's nothing right about that video. The whole thing's an absolute mess. But if you get a chance,
work of art.
it's a work of Peter, but it is
A work
funny
of
as heck.
Peter.
My daughters have that song memorized.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean,
And do they sing it in their voice?
They sing it all the time. They're like, "Hey, Dad, shot a bunch with the 30-06, stumbling through the swamp." Bam, bam, bam.
It's kind of perfect. I've been using 30-06 for gun
If
season.
you listen to the song, just listen to the song. It's not a bad song.
He's a
It's really
lyricist.
not a bad
He's
song.
a lyricist.
It's well produced.
I'm linguistic. It's okayly produced, but the song itself is not horrifying. Okay, it's kind of horrifying, but the video, when you add that video, it is so bad. If you are not on the remember the old ROFL? If you're not rolling on the floor laughing, something's wrong with you. But what a legacy! Pink camo and Hunter's Creed.
That's you, pink camo.
So my mom, Grandma Mary, made her national television debut this last week on The Foul Life. She made gnocchi, homemade. Jack Klobucar, you were there. Madeline, talk to me. I mean, you've been kind of quiet. I know Jack talks a lot. I talk more than him, but you were there for and I guess now I just learned, unbeknown to you, you had wild game for the first time in your life.
That was the first?
What did you think?
Wow.
Okay, well, I've tried it before and I just didn't like it.
Okay. Did you like it this time?
I did, actually. Well, I didn't know that it was not
beef.
Wild
beef.
game.
Yeah. So Grandma Mary made gnocchi, which are handmade dumpling noodles, Italian dumpling noodles. And she made her homemade sauce, like from generations back from the old country in Italy. And I have to tell you that, Jack, do you understand you were there for like the treat of the century to be able to eat that? Because that woman's 80. She ain't going to be around
That was
forever.
so good.
And that sauce is like, there's nothing like it. I mean, I taste it and it takes me right back to my grandma's house in Fond du Lac when I was eating it growing up. And she made it for the TV show with gnocchi. And then she made the sauce with roasts that were wild game roasts, venison, and I think there was an antelope roast in there. And then she made a traditional pork roast as well. And meatballs with venison.
Unknown to Madeline.
Unknown to Madeline. So Madeline, you look like you're fine after the experience. I want to ask, would you eat it again?
Yeah, no, it definitely it shocked me when I
wasn't
found out that it was.
we were not trying to trick you. I want you to know.
I was.
You were, Jack?
Yeah, for sure.
But
No, it was delicious. No, I would definitely eat it again. I've had venison maybe once.
Okay.
And
So-
Madeline, how was it prepared the first time you had it? Do you remember?
It was a beef stick. And it also, I don't like beef. Sorry, I don't like beef sticks that have like the cheese in them.
Oh.
And those beef sticks had the cheese in them.
Yeah.
So I think that might have just been like some
Maybe what threw you
culminating
off a little
factors.
bit?
Yeah.
I think that the lesson here is that wild game, if it's made correctly, very often is delicious, and if
Absolutely.
it's not cared for in the field and made correctly, it can be janky, just like any meat, right? You got to carefully prepare. What's your favorite, Danielle?
Mine, when it's in the sous vide.
Ooh, yeah.
So good.
Did I introduce you to that?
You
or
did not. My friend
Okay.
Brianna.
That's such a good way to eat it. Tuffy Stone, national champion grill master, pit master,
I'm
cooked
envious
at
of you.
our house. He made, get ready for this.
What?
He made duck, like marinated duck, smoked duck breast. He made this venison that I couldn't even explain. You could cut it with a fork. He made wild goose pastrami that was as good as any pastrami from a kosher deli in New York. It
And
was
it's wild goose.
unbelievable. It was Canada goose, wild Canada goose. Somebody said, "Hey, yeah, did you guys eat Canadians?" And Belding,
Did you
the
eat
host of the show,
Canadians?
said, "Yeah, we'd be in jail if we were eating Canadians, but we did have Canada goose." Trust me when I tell you, no Canadians were consumed in the making of this show. But Tuffy Stone's recipes, he made a stroganoff that was to die for.
Ugh,
Everything
yum.
he made was so delicious. We're going to do another recipe when we come. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so
hang
hungry.
on. I'm so hungry right now. This is making me hungry. I'm always hungry. Food's so awesome. Raised in Wisco's awesome. Wisconsin's awesome. We're awesome. You're awesome.
Real high, look at it every Monday low. Out of breath, I keep going and going. Oh no, if I'm a record, then I'm old. You don't like my song no more. So tell me one more thing I say.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Oh, just when I think I found the strength to go and push you away, away. I pull you in again, though I'm such a sucker for the pain, 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 baby. I'm helpless, baby.
Raised in Wisco, your one-stop shop for the great outdoors of Wisconsin. Of course, your best place to learn how to cook and eat, too, I think.
Absolutely.
Danielle, don't you think so?
I wish I could watch your mom cook nonstop.
Yeah, she's unbelievable.
She needs her own channel.
I have to say though, I'm 53 years old and she still acts. I will never not be like a
little baby boy.
6-year-old, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old son.
I do miss her coming to the studio.
She corrects me all the time. Joel. That's like the number one thing she always said. Joel, and then she'll tell me how I'm not doing it right. I think
but she's like 5 foot, so it makes it even better.
Yes, she is a 5 foot little Italian, screaming Italian lady who runs around like a chicken, and she's 80 years old. You know what's really crazy? This woman shows up at my house, 80 years old. My dad died like 2 years ago. You know, she was very, traditional wife. Okay. Did everything for the whole family her whole life, lived for her family, still does. But my dad dies, and she's got this kind of sense of freedom that she never had, right? She shows up at my house with a brand new, like supersized Jeep Wrangler in Barbie pink.
Yep.
At the house. I'm like, whose car is that out there? She's like, I just bought it, Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
And when I can always tell when she's like correcting me or mad at me because my name Joel becomes 2 syllables. Joel. Joel. So she shows up, and Chad Belding, the Nationals. Jack, we've hunted together with Chad. You've hung out with Chad quite a bit. I mean, he's got a personality fairly similar to mine. It's big, right? We have big personalities, big boisterous personalities, right? So now imagine this 5 foot nothing Italian lady, 80-year-old lady, like bossing him around, trying to teach him how to make these gnocchis by hand. It was absolutely incredible. And Tuffy Stone's grilling and smoking was phenomenal. I mean, these guys come into town, and every time I think I'm going to gain weight when they're gone, because all we do is eat. And we experienced Wisconsin, and we had this incredible dinner at the Bark River Lanes for the Friday Fish Fry. We always go to a supper club where the old fashions are flowing, and it just is just so fantastic. I'm going to talk about what I made for Thanksgiving. That is going to be my recipe of the week.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you how to make it. And I boiled it down. So I made, while the group was in town, I made barbecue emu and goose sandwiches. Okay.
What?
I had emu from Texas and I had goose. So I made barbecue emu and barbecue goose sandwiches. I'm going to tell you folks how to make my famous base recipe that everybody always loves when I make it. It's the base for my pot pies. I feel like we need to tell
everybody to stop real quick and go grab a pen and paper.
Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Because I'm about to ruin the image and the cooking style you're used to. Okay. Yo, I look funny. Okay, that's enough with Humpty. Listen, it's 3 ingredients. I boiled it down to 3 ingredients. Mm-hmm. You put your wild game. You can wild game, domestic meat, whatever you want. You put it in a crock pot or an Instant Pot. Okay, that's a pressure cooker. You put it in. You fill it with water up to the top of whatever meat you have. If it's goose breast, if it's roast, if it's venison, you name it, antelope, fill it to the top of that. Add 1 cup of cooking oil, add 1 cup of lemon juice, and whatever seasoning is the 3rd ingredient. Everybody, you don't need a pen for this recipe, Danielle.
You do not, but everyone always asks.
Everyone always asks. And this is so delicious. I can't even. So 1 cup of oil. And people are like, why would you add oil? Why would you
Does it matter how much meat you have?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
1 cup.
1 cup. 1 cup of oil, 1 cup of lemon juice, and whatever seasoning you want. If you want to cheat, use a seasoning packet for Italian dressing seasoning. It's got all the flavors and salt in it. Mm-hmm. If you like Lowry's, use Lowry's. If you got Provider spices, use Provider spices. If you are a Cavender's fan, put Cavender's in there. You name it. You put your seasoning in there with 1 cup of oil, 1 cup of lemon juice. Here's the magic to this ingredient, to this recipe though. When it cooks, you cook it in the crock pot on high as long as it needs till the meat falls apart. You cook it in the pressure cooker. Usually I do 2 to 3 hours as long as the meat falls apart. You want that meat falling apart. That's when it's done. The beauty of a crock pot is you've got time to let that happen. And you're going to have to go way past. You'd have to cook it for 2 days before it would start to taste burnt. So don't worry about that. But when it falls apart, you take that meat out and you shred it, because wild game particularly is very fibrous. There's no fat in it, right? It's very fibrous. So you shred it apart. You will have stuff cooking in that stock, is what the juice is called after you're done cooking something, stock or broth. It'll be in the broth. You take it out and split open and be dry in the middle, because it's just it's all protein. There's no fat in it. Here's the key. Shred the ever-loving hell out of it. Shred it with 2 forks. Shred it like crazy. Shred it like you just don't care. And then
shred it like it's hot.
Put it back into the stock and stir the snot out of it. Stir it and stir it and stir it, because that stock in there that's got that oil, lemon juice, and has got the seasonings will absorb into the meat, making it slippery like pulled pork, right?
Yep.
So if you want to turn it into a Mexican recipe, you add cumin. You want to turn it into, use it for the base of lasagna or something Italian, you add oregano and garlic. You want to turn it into a Greek dish, you add, oregano and garlic to that and some thyme. If you want to use it for a recipe for Thanksgiving, you can add sage to it, and it will taste like that. You can move that base recipe into anything you like, and it is so fantastic that when everybody loves it. Here's what breaks down any gamey taste in meat. Ready? Time, heat over time breaks down the gamey taste. Physical breakdown or grinding, and an acid, because it's in the base of the meat. So you
don't forget love.
Acid and
don't forget love.
Jack.
That's what makes the best food.
I would just like to say that I appreciate Jack adding his sensitive, caring.
Well, if you don't add love, it's not yours.
Without love.
Thank you.
Love is what makes the world go round.
I'm glad I could add to that.
I'm glad you could. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad Madeline was here. Danielle, I hope your luck turns around in the last couple of days of the deer hunt here. I have a feeling it will.
I hope so.
Because your spirit alone should draw those big bucks into you, and I think you're going to get something. You're going to get something to happen, folks. We love you listening to Raised in Wisco.
Be safe out there for the season.
Remember, you can learn a lot on this show, and you're going to have some laughs too. Listen to us throughout the state on your civic media station. This is Raised in Wisco.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.